months before, astronomers developed 9 independent observational demonstrations that not only is dark energy real, it's the dominant component of the universe. And if you're interested in what those 9 are, here's a list. I'm not going to go into the technical details. If you're interested, I've written an article on every one of these 9 observational demonstrations. You can find them on our website. In fact, here is the URL where you'll find those articles. And you can see for yourself the demonstration that indeed dark energy not only is real, but is a dominant component of the universe. And by the way, these are the 9 that were measured and discovered within 7 months after this paper was published. The list now stands at 25. And if you go to that URL, you'll see all 25 described with citations to the literature. But dark energy is not the only compelling evidence that the God of the Bible designed the entire universe for the benefit of life and human beings in particular. It simply ranks as the most spectacular, measurable evidence for supernatural, superintelligent design. But the truth is, virtually every feature of the universe that we measure shows this very high level of fine-tuning design. So, for example, all the laws of physics, or the forces of physics, have to be fine-tuned. I mean, if you were to disturb the ratio of the gravitational force to the electromagnetic force by as little as 1 part in 10,000 trillion, there'd be no stars. Stars would either never form or they would form and instantly explode. Either way, no possibility for life. And hey, the list goes on. It's crucial that the number of protons in the universe equal the number of electrons in the universe to better than 1 part in 10 trillion times, or life is not going to be possible. You say, what does that C stand for? Carbon-based life. That's the only assumption. I don't care how many eyes the creature has. The only assumption we bring to bear here is that life must be built on carbon. And that was settled 35 years ago. 35 years ago, there was speculation. Maybe we can make life on boron or silicon or arsenic. But we now know only carbon has the bonding stability and bonding complexity to make life possible. Now, if this is really evidence for the supernatural personal handiwork of the Creator in space and time, we would expect this list to grow as we measure more and more of the universe in greater and greater detail. And so we began a project at Reasons to Believe back in 1991. In fact, I spoke here about that time, back in those days. 1991, 17 known features that show this high level of fine-tuning design. But see how the list is growing as we scientists have measured more and more of the universe. The list now stands way over 180 different features of the laws of physics and the features of the universe that must be fine-tuned to make life possible. But hey, if you want a 1-sentence summary, you'll find it in Hebrews 1:10. The heavens are the work of your hands. Now, if you were to go to any bookstore, kind of an academic type bookstore, you will find dozens of books that make this point. And almost all of those books are written by unbelievers. So, for example, Paul Davies wrote a book called The Cosmic Blueprint, in which he said, everywhere we look in the universe, we see this overwhelming evidence for design. It's called the anthropic principle. And I've counted over 50 books that have been written documenting this evidence for this incredible fine-tuning design in the universe to make life possible. But that's typically where the books stop. And one thing I've found with my astronomy peers, they say, well, if we see design at the level of the universe, I can live with that. What they can't live with is if the design actually gets close to home. And this is what's been overlooked in a lot of these published books, is the fact that we not only see this extremely high level of fine-tuning design on the size scale of the entire universe, we see it on all size scales, which means that God is personally involved, not just in the universe as a whole, but all the way down even to the individual fundamental particles, and certainly that would apply to every human being. So, for example, we now realize it's not just that we need a special universe. Life is not possible unless you've got the just right cluster of galaxies. And it's not possible unless you've got a just right galaxy. In fact, you can go to our website, over 200 different features of our Milky Way galaxy must be fine-tuned design in order to make advanced life possible here on planet Earth. You know, that made it difficult for me to watch Star Wars, because the thing opens up with a galaxy far, far away. Well, we've looked far, far away. We don't see any galaxies that could be possible candidates for advanced life. And we need a just right star. And now we've found literally more than 1,800 planets outside of the solar system. First one was discovered in 1995. And I remember back then my peers were saying, we're going to find hundreds of planets just like the planets in our solar system. Well, the truth is, even with 1,800 planets now discovered and measured, not only do we not find any like the Earth, we don't find any like any of our solar system planets. We're not finding a Venus twin, a Jupiter twin, a Neptune twin. And so what this is showing us, something we didn't know until we discovered these planets inside of the solar system, is literally every single planet in our solar system plays a critical role in making advanced life possible here on planet Earth. So I don't know about your family, but come November and Thanksgiving Day, we're going to sit down, we're going to thank God for Mercury, for Venus, for Mars, for Neptune, for Uranus, and I'm going to bore my sons by explaining to them why they all have to be exactly the way they are so that we can enjoy our Thanksgiving dinner. And you can actually go to our website. I've written articles on this about why every single planet counts in making life possible. And of course, we needed just right Earth, and over 20 different features of the moon had to be fine-tuned in order to make life possible. Now, this is opening up the possibility for testing. Remember I started off by saying you have all these atheists